Hey everyone, Gabe here from JMKRIDE, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to kickflip on Freeskates. The kickflip has to be one of my favorite tricks in freeskating, specifically because of the way it feels and also the amount of stuff you can do with the kickflip. You can do just a kickflip by itself. You can do kickflip with both feet, kickflip switch them, kickflip off a ledge. There's so many things you can do with this trick. Today, I'm just going to be teaching you how to do a single kickflip with either foot. First thing I want to say is that the kickflip is not an easy trick to get down. I first started trying this trick about a year ago in China when Kevin Lee taught me how to do this, and only recently am I getting it remotely consistent. So I like to break the kickflip down into two parts. The first being the tilt, where you tilt the skate at about a 45, and the kick or outward flick directly sideways. So what that looks like is just grabbing one skate while you're standing and practicing this motion right here, and just see what that feels like to tilt the skate without losing it. You got to keep your pressure down on the skate so that you don't lose it. And then as you're tilting it sideways, give it a flick directly outward. And it's probably not going to look like that at the beginning, but just keep trying. Tilt the skate by applying pressure, and at the same time or just after, flick the skate outward. It really doesn't matter which skate you learn first, just pick a skate and stick with that one first. So what you're probably realizing by now is that your foot isn't landing back on the skate, which is really hard at first to pull off because the amount of time you have to stomp your skate back down is very small. So what I would recommend is keeping your foot close to the skate during the flip so that I can quickly stomp back down. What I mean by that is two things. You don't want your foot to go too far out here, and you don't want to pick up your foot too much. You want to keep it low and close to the skate and just flick it out a little bit. And it's almost as if the moment your foot flips the skate, it's already coming back down. So when you're doing this trick correctly, it really should feel like one fluid motion, not first tilting and then flicking out, but rather a diagonal motion into the ground, moving this way, if you're tilting the skate that way, down and out. And then right as the foot leaves the skate, it's gonna stomp right back down so you can land the kickflip. Think of it as rolling your ankle, cranking the skate sideways while keeping your pressure down and into the ground. So this is what that looks like. One extra tip I have for you, and probably the most important tip for me when I was learning, is how much of your foot is covering the grip tape on the skate. So when I was learning and I was told to tilt the skate sideways, I put my foot on the very edge of the skate because that's the way I could most easily tilt it, but that caused two problems. I kept losing the skate when I was learning, so that was my first problem. And then the second problem is that I had zero control over the flip while I was riding. I would sometimes land it, but with no consistency whatsoever, and I would have to basically rely on luck for landing this trick. So while I realize it won't be easy to tilt the skate at first when most of your foot is covering the skate, I would recommend as you're progressing and learning this trick, try and move that skate closer and closer to all the way covering the skate so that you have more control over your flip. It's not going to come immediately, but with practice, you will learn how to tilt the skate and crank it, even when a lot of your foot is still covering the skate. One last thing I'll say is that the kickflip happens in line with your direction of motion, so it actually does help to be riding and have some momentum to be able to kickflip a little bit easier. So let's see what this trick is actually supposed to look like while riding. Just a couple things I wanted to add. When you're rotating the skate, it does help to think of rotating the entire skate around this one wheel on the outside, as opposed to your center of mass being in the middle of the skate, because really the flip is happening by cranking force around this wheel. Also, it is a common recommendation to use edge guards for your kickflips, mostly because of the added grip that it gives you and surface area to have your foot on for the kickflip. While it is my preference to use edge guards for kickflips, it's really not necessary, and you can do kickflips with or without. It's just a little bit of a different feel. So that's all the advice I have for you for the kickflip on Freeskates. If you have any questions at all, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. You can also reach out to the Freeskate community over on our Facebook group, USA Freeskaters, also linked below. Make sure you like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and click one of these videos right here for more free skating content. Roll with us.